What up, everybody? It's Coach Jayru, and welcome to another edition of Q&A with Coach Jay. Here, you guys ask me your wellness questions, training, nutrition, mindset, and I try to answer them to the best of my abilities. So let's get right into it. Today's question comes from Madison. Hey, Jay, I've been eating better, but it's been a struggle. I do well for a week or two and then fall off. Then I'm good again for a week or two and fall off again. Why is it so hard for some of us to eat healthy? Madison. Hey, Madison. Thanks for your question. So today, let's look at why it's so hard for some of us to eat healthy. So let's look more specifically at the root of the question. Nutrition, the most overlooked aspect of wellness and getting healthy. More specifically, why it's so hard for some people to eat healthy. What if I told you guys it may not be a lot of your faults? In fact, for some of you, you may in fact be fighting years of negative programming without even realizing it. You know why eating healthy is so hard for some of you people? Because you've been trained into or trained yourself into unhealthy habits over a very long period of time. Think about the people you know, just the people in your circle. How many people do you know that really eat healthy? Now think about the people that don't really eat healthy or avoid healthy eating, period. I'm talking people who wouldn't eat a vegetable to save their life. These are, in some cases, adults that have palates, dare I say, like children. The thing most people don't realize is that's a learned or trained behavior over years and years. Think about this. When you were a baby, what did you eat? In some cases, you either started with breast milk or formula, which is usually a blend of balanced carbs, proteins, and fats. Then you start on small versions of real food. As you start to eat real food, think about the first things you ate. You start with fruits and vegetables, the primary foods of vitamins and minerals of life. That's your primary diet, fruits and veggies. And then with small amounts of meat slash protein added in. You're getting all the quality and nutrients your body needs, usually in the right nutritional ratios and in the best forms possible. Now we start to get a little older. And at some point, here comes the introduction of sugars, candy, processed foods, alcohol, and basically fake foods. We are unknowingly and eventually knowingly introduced to poison. You get a taste for this stuff, and it changes you, not only physically, but also psychologically. You eat more and less of the good stuff. Unless someone is actually pushing fruits and veggies on you, you're not eating the foods that you ate as an infant or young child. Now compound that with over years and years, more poison and processed foods, which is becoming addicting, less fruits and vegetables, more cravings for poisons. So now you're fighting a food slash poison addiction on top of bad eating quality. So when someone isn't eating healthy, that's a trained response to a repetitive behavior over years and years. Think about it. We celebrate with processed foods, poisons, and copious amounts of sugar. This is why nutrition is so hard for some. They have to retrain their bodies to eat healthy again. Actually, I shouldn't even say again. For some, it's been so long that it's like they've spent more years consuming poisons than good nutritious foods. So it's like a bigger battle than most people realize. If you've been eating unhealthy for a while, understand eating better is going to take time to change your habits. And honestly, probably a few failed attempts. If you're serious about changing your eating habits and nutrition, it's going to take time and lots of effort. And for a lot of people, a radical makeover to their diets. Keep things basic. For most people, add more protein, add more fruit and veggies, lower the processed foods, sugars, and alcohols, lower the sugary drinks, and consume way more water. Start with small changes and don't try to radically change everything at once. That's a recipe for failure. Try and change a little bit every couple or 3 or 4 weeks. We're talking long-term health. So it's going to be a long process. And understand, you may fall off the wagon or fail a couple times. But don't give up. Just hit the reset button if you have to. Trying and failing 10 times is still better than not trying at all. And even if you do fail a couple times, you're going to have some successful days in those failures. So essentially, you're still getting better. And ultimately, that's the goal. Not how long it takes or how many times you have to try again. If you like what you saw today, drop me a like, leave a comment, and please subscribe to the channel. This is your boy, and I'll see you guys next time on Q&A with Coach Jay. Peace. My style.